Hey, what's up, guys? Joe here, coming at you today from Town Hall 9. And looking back at my previous content, I feel like I've been going about it all wrong. I've been presenting you content that was high competitive level content, but I wasn't really going into the details on how those attacks were even successful in the first place. So a little bit of a waste of time. And I think the misconception there is the fact that you guys have been thinking that a strategy fits all, like one single strategy fits all. And most of you that play at a high competitive level know for a fact that is not the case. Hogs does not cover every single base. Witches don't cover every single base. We're going to be starting with Town Hall 9s today, and then we're going to work our way up into the Town Hall 10s and the Town Hall 11s as the time permits. But really, the main focus here of this video is for you guys that are looking to improve your game at Town Hall 9. You have to work together with your teams in order to plan these attacks out. You will not be successful by doing it all by yourself. There's no way. It's impossible. So what I've gone in and done is I've purposely pulled bases that were one-time hits. They got hit one time. They were successful 3-stars right off the bat, and they're more than likely these bases will never be seen again, or they'll be gone back into the drawing board, retweaked, and represented at a later time. But yeah, pull your notebooks out. We're going to go play by play, and we're going to go through each of these attack strategies as the time goes on, or as they permit themselves, and try to get you a better understanding on how they operate or how they were successful to be a 3-star. All right, so let's go ahead and get into some hog action today. Kicking it off with a triple golem set, or stoned as some of you know it. Now, as we look at this base right here, you can obviously look around the perimeter of the base. There's multiple builders' huts on the outsides of the base, and you know, they're obviously time deterrents. Could throw you off if you miss them. So, you know, normally a good practice there is to actually zoom all the way out when you're scouting your base and identify these things, so that way you can take care of them. That's what the 4 archers in the composition are for. And then we look at the northwestern side of the base. There's just a broad face wall all the way across. There's multiple structures lining this wall. There's mortars on the outsides of the base to deter your golems, as well as your queen being located in this vicinity here. Clan Castle is mostly centralized, and then the X-bows are offset, one deeper in the base than the other. One's a little bit more exposed than the other. King is on the opposite side of the base. So anyways, as we look at the composition itself, there's only one heal spell, so he's going to either use the heal spell for his bowlers that are in the Clan Castle to keep them going through the base. That's really the intent of the triple golem set, is to get your kill squad really deep into the base and only sprinkle your hogs all the way around. We'll go ahead and roll this one and show you how he approaches this base. As we zoom back out, you can see that he does in fact use those archers to tend to the builders' huts, and then uses a wizard up in the northernmost point, and then drops his golems. Now check it out. So the golems are spread out. One is targeting the centralized mortar, and then one is sitting on the wall because it's outside of range, really going after that wizard tower. The queen is targeting it. There's a Valkyrie or 2 that are dropped to assist this northernmost golem and take out structures, assisting with the funnel. Massive group of wizards here to really get in there and back up the wizards. A jump spell is going to be used instead of a wall breaker. Why? Because there's a wizard tower sitting here. So this wizard tower obviously could redirect on your wall breakers and take them out. So instead of that, this attacker here just eliminates the wall breakers altogether and brings a jump spell instead. Bowlers are on the ground along with the healers, or heroes. Goodness, there's no healers in this. But here's the thing. So as you watch the bowlers, they're going to split, and the reason why they split is because this area here where the queen sits and the rest of your golems has been cleared out. There's no close structures, so the closest structures for your bowlers to target would be these structures down here. So they're going to kick outside and stay outside. There were 1 or 2 bowlers actually go in. The golems actually do in fact go in, and the barbarian king as well as the archer queen go into the base. So the queen is going to end up taking care of the Clan Castle troops, and the barbarian king and golems are going to tank their way deeper into the base. Now at this point, you have this massive group that has made their way, or tanking power, as well as the barbarian king, that have made their way deeper into the base. We do have bowlers that have strayed out to the outsides of the base right there. And so what he's going to do here is he's going to start trickling in the hog riders while the defenses are stuck on our golems. So we have a few that come in from the south. We have a few more that come in from the opposite side, and they're coming in about groups of 2 to 3 to take on these defenses while everything is pointing in. So what I mean by that is these cannons here are all pointed in facing the golems, as well as the archer towers up here. They're facing the golems, so that's where Edward here is going to sneak in his hog riders and take advantage of this while all that tanking power is in the core of the base. It's drawing all of the fire, but you have to pay attention to the health of your golems, and you know, pay attention to once they go into golemites, then you're gonna you have a very short period of time here. So obviously there's a troll Tesla right over here, and he'll save a few hog riders there. He has one still in his queue to sneak in from the north and assist with that wizard up in the north. So that's exactly what's happening there, and really the intent of the triple golem set is for getting in deep on the base. Really good for these, you know, when you have walls that are like this straight line all the way across, there's no jaggedness there, and it just really presents itself. The base itself presents for a deep entry point with the kill squad, and taking advantage of a lot of the base, leaving a very small section of the base for the hog riders to sneak in while the defenses are tied up. So that's attack number one. We're going to go ahead and get into another attack with a less group of golems. Okay, so attack number two is slightly different, well actually very different from the previous attack, because there's two golems, or the shattered golem set. And what's going to happen here is he has 24 hog riders in his composition. He has 3 heal spells. So what exactly does that mean? It means that he's going to put a heavy emphasis on his hog riders and not necessarily his kill squad like the previous attack. In this attack here, the base itself has a very large trash ring around the outsides of the base. Just structures all the way around this base, a lot of deterrence, and really compared to the previous video, you would think this would be more of a witch type attack. However, the attacker here comes in with a you know, hog rider attack instead. His target here is actually coming in from the south, and he's going to be going after the queen and the clan castle up here. So we're going to go ahead and get this one rolling. And so what he's going to do is going to drop his 2 golems, or 1 golem to start out with, then his second golem. So they are really mainly focused on drawing fire. Now a baby dragon is actually brought in here because there's no defenses down here that can really touch this baby dragon until it crosses into range. The cannon's not going to mess with the baby dragon. And then obviously the archer tower is focused in on the golem down here in the south. So then he's going to start sprinkling in wizards here to follow that up, doubling them up to speed up the process in the cleaning factor. Queen is dropped back behind, and then the Barbarian King will go down here momentarily. The golems are really taking a lot of heat here, and the jump spell is really for the golems. Now clearly there was just so much down here that these golems really got dropped in a little bit earlier than the rest of his kill squad. So what ends up happening here is they just soak up a lot of the defenses here and end up not really being worth anything in the attack, as into getting deeper into the base. Now take note that the clan castle does not have bowlers in it because he's not dropped bowlers yet. So the Barbarian King is focused on the outside of the base, and he's going to stay on the outside of the base. The Archer Queen is focused in here on the enemy Archer Queen, which is huge, and then the clan castle has been pulled. And what's going to happen here is these 2 wizards over here in the south are going to detour our clan castle troops here away from the poison spell. So it was a little bit of a sloppy poison drop there, but he kind of makes up for it for a second. Just a little bit of a rush there on the poison drop. Uses the queen's ability there to take care of the Valkyrie as well as the baby dragon. So he's being flexible here, being able to rebound off of a few mistakes there. Now he brings his clan castle max level hog riders in from the south. They go in and target. Now the queen is sacrificial at this point. It's a known loss. The king is going to work his way on the outsides of the base over in the east. Now he's anticipating his hog rider movement by dropping his heal spell in the location where there's normally a giant bomb close to the bomb tower, which is doubling it up. So he does something really good there with the heal spell. And then the hogs kind of split and go after the air sweeper into another giant bomb. And now he's patient. He's watching the motions of his hogs here, and he starts bringing them in here from the north. And now pay attention to your pathing here. There's obviously nothing there but maybe a spring trap and then possibly a giant bomb there. So he knows where he's going to end up dropping his heal spells. Now there was a troll Tesla up north, so it works out well as hog riders redirect, take care of the Tesla, and then work their way down. Now he pre-drops a heal spell in the heavy defensive concentrated area, uses his Barbarian King's ability since he was losing health, and now everything is focused in on that Barb King, so he sneaks 1 single balloon into the base, and he has 1 more heal spell that's going to end up being dropped right here in this dense area. 1 to protect the balloon and allow the balloon to continue to work, and also allow his Hog Riders to continue deeper into the base. Sneaks a few more Hog Riders in behind that balloon to assist. Now the heal spell is down, and everything is in this general vicinity being healed up as they move. So the Wizard Tower and the Expo will go down. Now, here's the plus side to the Hog Riders in this attack, is the skeleton traps were set to air, so this benefits the Hog Riders immensely. Now, you can't plan for this. Obviously, you cannot plan for a skeleton trap to be set for air or ground, but if they were set on ground, this is a known fact, those Hog Riders would be toast, and this attack would end up being a 2-star attack and not a 3-star attack, because the skeletons would be grouped up chasing the final Hog Riders and taking them out and finishing up the attack. So instead, the skeleton traps was set to air, which took out the balloon but did not affect our Hog Riders, and it will allow our Hog Riders to finish this attack up with the assistance of the wizards over in the far west, and pretty much self-explanatory for there. So that is a shattered golem set with balloons. A few faults there in the attack, but either way, the attacker here did a phenomenal job rebounding and getting going on. So we're going to move into our third attack from here. Attack number 3 is actually really cool. The attention to detail in this attack is actually quite impressive to me at least. I don't know. I just love the detail of this attack. So there is a queen walk here, and there's also minions in the composition. The reason for the minions is if you pay attention to down here in the south especially, the archer tower is way up here. There's a large gap in the coverage of the archer tower. Now the cannon's not going to affect minions. The air defense, there's another gap all the way over here. So as we go over here to the western or the eastern side of the base, there's another large gap of all these structures out here that have no coverage for anything like a minion. So a minion can obviously take these structures out up here, and then as you go up here, the coverage on the archer tower is quite short for the camps up here. So our attacker here is going to start down here in the south. Let's go ahead and zoom back out and get a look at this base from far away. And so you'll notice that he drops a single minion down here in the south momentarily. We're waiting on it. We're waiting on it. There it goes. So the minion is dropped where the spell factory is located, and there's nothing there to cover it. Now the queen is going to drop with the offset healers, and then he's going to bring a single Hog Rider up in the north to draw the clan castle. The Hog Rider is expendable. The point here is to bring that clan castle group of troops all the way down to our queen walk and allow her to tend to the clan castle troops instead of having to fend for them later on. Now the minion is continuing to work here. The minion has taken out multiple structures here at this point, 2 structures, and a rage spell is dropped on our queen for a reason, because a Valkyrie versus a queen is just a bad day for the queen. And then she's also working on the baby dragon. Poison is there on the witch, working on the witch and the skeletons, as well as the barbarian king. So another poison spell is dropped. Now at the same time that that's going on up here in the north, there were some minions dropped on those army camps up in the north up here. And then also there are a few wizards that are dropped over here to work on these structures that are outside of range of any defenses. So pretty good attention to detail there when it comes to that. Now that barbarian king and witch will eventually go down, and the queen's intent down here, or the queen walk, is to go in and take care of the enemy queen. Now if you look at the center of the base has really tight compartments, grouped up structures. Plainly, this is perfect for Hog Riders because there's no spring traps here and there's no giant bomb locations here in the center at least. But if you can get this single golem and barbarian king and bowlers in the clan castle into this location, they'll take out a huge gut of this base. Now we're going to continue this thing on and keep it moving. Another single Hog Rider goes in and actually identifies a Tesla location, and obviously is expendable at that point. Queen is working in on the archer tower cannon, and her ability is popped in order to take care of the enemy queen, and this frees her up to walk this whole southwestern side of the base, taking out all these structures along the way, also assisting with defenses. Now the kill squad itself has been dropped over here on the opposite side of the base where a jump spell is located. Single golem is tanking for our bowlers and our barbarian king, and the bowlers are going to end up splitting here for a reason. The reason for that is because there is an archer tower here that's going to direct our 2 bowlers, and then our other 3 are going to be directed down here in the south and work on structures here. So you can't really avoid a split here when it comes to structures being closer to the bowlers there. They're going to target the next closest structure. Now, at the same time, they're also identifying skeleton trap locations, which is beautiful for our Hog Rider portion. Get rid of those skeleton traps and we don't have to worry about those. Now the Queen has continued her walk up the southwestern side of the base, and she's already taken out all structures within her range, so then she's going to get caught on the wall here, and then she's going to cut into the base and assist on these structures here. And then at the same time, the massive group of Hog Riders are coming in from the northwest, and they're going to work their way into the base. There is one heal spell remaining for this heavy defensive concentrated area, which is right here. And there's not really a lot of defenses here that's going to affect our hogs in a huge way. Identifying another skeleton trap location that's set to ground mode, and the Archer Queen is going to assist with taking care of those. We do have a full Queen, or a Queen with full health, but her ability's already been used, and we only have one defense that can really hurt our hogs in the cannon. This frees it up for mostly cleanup at this point. Just a beautiful attack, great execution by our attacker here, as well as holding on to some minions and our wizards for the rest of the attack. So just great attention to detail here. Our healers split off and go into the group of Hog Riders, which is going to just carry our Hog Riders through the rest of the attack here. Just a beautiful way to meticulously plan this base and tear it apart. And this was a one-time hit, so I mean, just great planning here by the guys in Elite Gaming. Moving into the next attack, guys. Alright, so our final attack here is actually another triple golem set. And obviously it's not a fully maxed out Town Hall 9, but you'll get the gist of the attack as well. Now, as we look at the compartments themselves, very deep compartments or very wide compartments, a lot of locations for the giant bomb placements, multiple placements for your Teslas. There's just really no telling exactly where the traps are located in this base. Clearly in this section right here where everything's all grouped up, there's nothing here. So perfect for Hog Riders anyways. And then the Queen's location's up here in the northwest, as well as a offset clan castle. So anything that comes in a range over here is going to pull the clan castle. So we're going to go ahead and start this one out. There were builders' huts in the corners. One single golem is going to be dropped, followed by 3 wizards to work on these structures. Golem's going to sit on that cannon. The second golem is dropped over here in the far west on the mortar, following it up with another 4 or 5 wizards to set the funnel. Now, the main emphasis here is setting the funnel. There are no wall breakers because we're going to use a jump spell. Obviously, you can tell by this where everything's located that the placement's going to be right here where the wizard tower is at, where he snuck in a single Hog Rider there as well. Wizard tower versus wall breakers, not exactly the best idea. The wizards will overpower and take out the Queen, and then the clan castle will end up getting pulled over there by that wizard, which will detour our clan castle troops. They'll move up, and then our Queen, King, and bowlers have worked their way into the base. Now, why have they worked their way into the base? Because this is a nice wide funnel. He was patient. He allowed his wizards to work and take out all these structures around this area. This wizard will end up taking care of this cannon, and then a poison spell is dropped in the location where our clan castle troops are going to be maneuvering in order to tie up and take some health off of the dragon as well as our balloons. And then the next jump spell is placed in order to move our bowlers and our golems deeper into the base. Now the Queen is sitting back taking care of those clan castle troops, and now our bowlers have gutted this entire side. That Queen's going to take care of this dark elixir storage, and then at this point he's going to start working his Hog Riders into the base, sneaking them in groups of 2 to 3. Just really patient with the attack. The King, his ability has not been popped. The heal spell is a little off placed, but we'll get a little bit of coverage on our bowlers. And the intent here is to keep our bowlers moving deeper into the base and taking out the second Expo, which just really frees it up. And look at the amount of defenses that are left over for our Hog Riders. Now, we only got 6 left. There's a few Hog Riders that are coming in up here in the north, but the Archer Tower is obviously distracted. Same thing with our Wizard Tower. And then over here in the far west, there is like 3 Teslas over here as well as the Archer Tower. So, you know, kind of letting our Hog Riders flap in the wind here. There was no heal spell coverage here, but he was really estimating or planning on getting a lot out of his bowlers here. So at this point, we're going to end up losing a lot of our Hog Riders because there's no more heal coverage, but there's no other defenses remaining either. So we will lose a few Hog Riders here, but he does sneak in a balloon to take care of that Troll Tesla that was over here. I didn't actually exactly get that captured. but there was a troll Tesla. He did bring a single balloon specifically for that, and at this point you're all fully on cleanup. So hopefully the intent here with this video is for you guys to get a little bit better idea, planning wise, on what you're going to bring. How deep are you trying to get into the base with your hog riders or with your golems, your kill squad, and then planning for the execution of your hog rider attack. So smash that like button, share the video if you find some use with it or use for others, and thanks for watching, guys.